After I published my tutorial on Typhoon, I asked Jasper Blues, who is the mastermind behind Typhoon, to have a look at my tutorials and give me some feedback and point out any technical inaccuracies. And he graciously did that. I made an error in one of my previous videos, and I just wanted to record a correction to that and point out what he had indicated to me. So I had previously mentioned that in the assemblies, the default scope, if you do not specify anything, is singleton, and that is incorrect. The default scope is actually a different value, which I'm going to point to here in a second. I have in this scenario defined a scope which differs from the default called prototype, and I covered that earlier. What I want to do is take you over to the Typhoon website, the GitHub project, and go to the wiki, and there is actually a wiki page on scopes, and the default scope, as is clearly described here in the excellent documentation, is scope object graph. And what that means is that during assembly, the definitions that have this scope will be treated similar to a singleton, but when that's over, when the assembly phase is over, Typhoon does not retain those definitions or those instances, and they can be cleared if nothing else is referring to them. So this documentation also describes the other possible scopes, and I highly advise that you read through these and understand how they work. I have used in the sample application the prototype scope, which, as I indicated, creates an instance as needed and discards it. It doesn't retain it at all. So if the class that needs that dependency no longer needs it and gets rid of it, then that instance just disappears, and then when something else asks for it, a new one will be created. There's also singleton, which I erroneously described as the default, and it's not. You should understand that. Lazy singleton and weak singleton. So read through the documentation here. If I left out anything, there's lots here that you can read and understand that goes beyond what I was able to cover in the videos.